Have you ever looked at a graphic design and thought, I could do that? What does it take to design something beautiful and attention-grabbing? Well, it turns out professional designers use a few simple tricks to elevate their work that you've probably never heard of. So today, I'm sharing those secrets that even non-designers can use to take projects from bland to stunning. If you're watching this, I'm probably talking to you. To start off, there are some basic principles of design that you need to understand before you even think about your next project. In design, there is something we call the visual hierarchy. The visual hierarchy can be summed up in a few key aspects. Those are size, perspective, color and contrast, space, and of course, repetition. You'll want to focus on the most important parts of your design first when planning out your first draft. The most important being size. Yes, it does matter, at least for our purposes. The larger the image, the more that our eye is drawn to it and the greater attention that we're going to put on it. This eventually relates us back to spacing, which we'll discuss later in the video. The next aspect is perspective. How you place an element in relation to another from front to back can change how we perceive a design when combined together. A great example of this is actually from Lord of the Rings. Before advanced CGI and green screen capabilities took over, the filmmakers created elaborate sets that made Gandalf the Grey significantly larger in frame compared to the hobbits, despite the actors actually being much closer in height. Color and contrast will relate to how colors interact with the rest of your design and how key elements pop in relation to other elements. Stay tuned as we'll go deeper into color theory and how you can decide the best ones for your image. Spacing details with the entire frame of your composition and how you position elements in relation to each other. And finally, we have the use of repetition, which, as the term suggests, how often you repeat certain elements or themes within your overall design to establish consistency. There is so much around the visual hierarchy that you can learn about in our other videos, which we have linked at the end of this video. These principles are essential for compiling and arranging your potential elements. But how do you even come up with an idea that makes sense for your project? This is where it can be extremely helpful to do research beforehand. But what does that research even look like? Well, that's when you start to look around for other designs related to your topic or anything that appeals to your personal style. Google actually is a fantastic tool for researching and seeing some of history's greatest artists. Just search for great art and designs and images, and Google Images will literally provide thousands of works that you can learn from. Take notes on what they have in common and also what you like. This will get those gears starting to turn in your head and providing inspiration to start building out the concept of your design. There are so many artists and styles to choose from, so if you have a subject matter that you're really interested in, look for designs related to that topic and just start from there. Once you have some design ideas floating around in your head, then you can move on to start collecting elements that you like. Start storing elements like high-quality vector images so that you can easily scale them when in the editing process, which takes us into planning. How much space will you really need for your design? This allows you to start thinking about the spacing before you even start constructing the image. But while collecting these elements, make sure that you're organizing them accordingly in folders and naming schemes that make sense to you and your team if you're working with the rest of your team. I can't tell you how annoying it is to be endlessly searching for a graphic that you need and you can't find it because it's buried in another folder with a name like coolpictures.2.png or something crazy like that. But don't forget that no matter what you're designing for, be creative and get out of your comfort zone. Use this as an opportunity to express yourself with your ideas and sensibilities. Challenge yourself to use techniques that you haven't used before, and you might find yourself creating something that you didn't even know you were capable of. Just as design can mean something special to you and how you express your artistic vision to the world, it can be just as impactful to the audience. You need to take into account how your design can affect the audience emotionally and what elements can cause that desired emotion. And nothing can affect an audience quite like color. So you need to be very decisive when it comes to choosing the right colors for your design. That's why it's important to understand the psychology of color. Different colors have different meanings, like red, relating back to power and importance, which is why it's so prominent in a lot of designs and icons, just like that subscribe button down below. Blue relates to knowledge. Green gives sense of nature and harmony. Even using colors like black and white can give a feeling of elegance and purity in your design. And if you'd like to learn more about how this is used in the real world, check out our video on the world's most iconic logos. So utilize a color wheel and choose colors that work well in a theme, like complementary and analogous colors. Complementary colors will be opposite on the color wheel, like blue and orange or green and red, while analogous colors or neighboring colors on the wheel will be your cool colors like blue and green or warm colors like red and yellow. But as we'll discuss later, you should be keeping your color scheme simple. Select one primary color, two complementary colors, and neutral backgrounds. Try using example color palettes that fit your topic, like pink, blue, and tan that could work for a beach composition. But how should you use text when creating your design? Text can play one of the biggest roles for making your design stand out. A simple rule of thumb is to limit your text to 50 to 60 characters per line max. You don't want to overwhelm the viewer with a block of text. You might as well have just written an essay, and that basically defeats the purpose of the whole entire design. You'll also want to limit your fonts to 2 and use fonts that complement the design and messaging that you're trying to convey. One can be the header, the most prominent text graphic, and the other text could be your body, which is smaller and stores most of the information of the piece. But like we mentioned with color and contrast earlier, it is important that your text is readable. So use contrasting colors between your text and the background, like light text on a dark background or dark text on a light background. The goal is to make your design pop and have the elements that you want to stand out, well, stand out. So how can we do that? It's actually quite simple. That's your answer. A common theme throughout this whole entire video has been simplicity. A very popular acronym in art is KISS, stands for Keep It Simple, Stupid. Now, that might seem a bit harsh, but in reality, it's so true that even professional designers forget this crucial rule. But just because something is simple doesn't make it easy. This is where everything that we discussed up to this point comes into play. Remember how we mentioned spacing earlier? Well, using the elements that you created are important to understanding how they coordinate and complement each other. In a lot of cases, less is more, and the lack of elements or negative space can be just as vital as the elements that you created. You want your larger elements to stand out, your text to pop, and the color theme to fit the design, but spacing them accordingly will make your image aesthetic. Another good rule of thumb is to use an odd number of images or graphics when designing. In the case of 3 graphics, you can make one larger than the other 2, which makes it stand out while the other 2 complement the main one. But if you're feeling discouraged or need some added help, use a template. Visme has countless templates that you can use to create designs for presentations, social media, or even lead magnets for your business. But the most important part is to stay inspired. Designing can be really hard, but if you try new things and push yourself to be better than you were before, there is no doubt that you'll be making leaps and bounds toward those professional level designs. And if you'd like to improve your designs, check out Visme today with the link down below. We created specifically to help people like you make advanced designs simple and easy. I'm Ivan from Visme, helping you design better for your business.